Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Virgo. If Virgo is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, knock, knock, knock. Let's see what's going on in the tea leaves. Okay, we kind of have a bit of a chaotic dispersion of tea leaves here, but it looks like we have some nice formations. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'm sorry I'm being so quiet. I'm just kind of taking these in. All right. Where shall we start? Actually, we're going to start with the card. I've been trying to open with the card because it kind of sets the tone. Not always, but usually. Okay, so we have the Wheel of Fortune or Fortune. And this is from the Young Tarot. And this is by Robert Wang. Okay. Some of the art, especially in the major arcana, I just love this deck. It doesn't help that this lady has bangs like I do, which is the good pull for Virgo, since I'm a Virgo. So here we go. We have, as you know, the Wheel of Fortune is all about opportunity, change, fortune. Obviously, that's in the title. Gain, right? Possible gain. Sometimes, it's a sign that there may be some money coming in, or at least a change in circumstances that will allow for some kind of monetary or resources to come flowing in. Okay. And yeah, so let's get started with this. Okay, so we have a lot of little stuff going on here. I want to look at this one first, though. We seem to have this person that looks like they are enthroned. Enthroned means they're sitting on a throne. So they're royalty, maybe like a high priest, high priestess, some kind of holy person, what have you. Okay, so we also have this person kind of on their hands and knees right before this this elevated, this person of elevated status, okay, or perceived elevated status, I should say. I have just a tad of that oppositional, defiant kind of mentality, if I'm being honest with you. It may be just the way that I grew up. It may be the time that I grew up, in history, where I grew up. I don't know, but, I I have a bit of a tendency to say, perceived, elevated station or position. So what I think this really has to do with, in my opinion, is not being so chained to your idea or the kind of conditioning or well, yeah, the conditioning that has been placed upon you to do the right things, okay, or to do the thing that everybody else does, the thing that makes the most sense, right? To at times choose against yourself when you know that's not what you want. That's not what's going to benefit you. That's not what is within your nature, but you do it anyways because that's what people do. That's what you've been told people do. That's what you've watched other people do. And then you live out this part of your life, this story, this segment, this chapter, whatever. You kind of enslaved to the ideas of somebody else, living out somebody else's story, somebody else's dream, right? And it is wholly unfulfilling, dire to the soul, right? And at some point, if we keep doing this, especially if it begins at a young age, and I guess this is where it gets tricky, raising children, right? You won't need to teach them to be safe, you know, teach them the basic things about life, how things work a little bit, how to navigate that. But like, if we force somebody to choose against themselves, or if we are forced to choose against ourselves repeatedly, it almost becomes, it's a compulsion that we have, right? We choose what is chaotic, what is unhealthy, what could be abusive, what is, dehumanizing to us, destroys our identity, our sense of self, right? Because that's all we know. That's how we've been trained, right? And that's terrible, and it's hard. And it's hard because you get to a place as you get older where you get into maybe a dysfunctional relationship or a career path that is really just so bleak for you. You just can't ever settle into it, but you keep doing it because you've gone to school or whatever. You have debt behind you, to get into this job, or, you're just scraping by and it's sucking the soul out of you, right? But you keep choosing it. And then on the other hand, people are telling you, well, why don't you make better choices? Why don't you honor yourself? Why don't you know better? You should have known better that this wasn't going to go well, but we've been trained to choose against ourselves. A lot of us, most of us, the majority of us, I think. That's part of why the world is the way that it is right now. Okay. So, there's my little rant for the night. Oh, get off of this. So serious. Let's see. Now, this is interesting. We have this this form right here, and to me it looks like a large, like a person, maybe side profile, kind of wearing some kind of big robe, but there's a big hole in it. Okay, and then over here we have something that looks like maybe a mermaid, maybe some kind of... Okay, so I lost my place just a little bit. Loud bang in the back of the house I had to check out. Okay, so we have this kind of sea creature, mermaid, sea creature, something. In between them, we have something that almost looks like a little dolphin on this side and then an anchor on this side. Okay, and if you can see kind of here, and yeah. So let's talk about what is this. It kind of almost to me really invokes these like images of a fairy tale, kind of this big, larger than life kind of dominating villainy kind of archetype. Then we also have this kind of creature that is drifts in between two things, right? In between two worlds, very much in a conscious day walking on the land in the light, and then we have the kind of subconscious dark waters swimming into the mystery of the ocean, right? And kind of just this real internal conflict going on between the two. I really think that well, let me talk about this little dolphin really quick. I was reading about the dolphin the other day, about the highly spiritual, psychic qualities of the dolphin and the way that they communicate with each other. They're very intelligent. We know this. There have been a lot of movements within kind of New Age or parapsychology, where there's this idea that, dolphins can telepathically communicate with maybe each other or with us or whatever. But also, the dolphin is very much a symbol of prayer, of serenity, of family. They, live joyfully within their pods. And when witnessed, are usually, or at least, I've never witnessed them, but in the wild, which I'm sure is more and more rare, unfortunately, that they are very synchronized in their hunting and how they move together. Their ability to really have this like very precise communication with one another. Okay, and then the anchor here, we all know the anchor is a feeling of kind of being weighed down to a situation. Okay, so I feel that there is this, there has been anyways, this sense of internal conflict. I think that, we're Virgos, let's be honest. We can be very bossy. We can be very boisterous. We can be quick to anger, right? Losing our temper a little bit. Being sharp with our words. And then there's this other part of us that is very just so, we're just so highly observant, also introspective, want to know why things are the way they are, how they work, so that we can improve the way that we kind of exist, how we make things like kind of run in our own lives, how, I'm just one of those people, and again, if you don't know, I'm a solar Virgo, so I'm one of those people, and I think that I have a sister who's also a solar Virgo, and we are both very much the same, where if we see something we like, or we have some ideas like that comes up, or passively see like somebody doing something online or whatever, and we're interested in it, we'll figure out how to do it ourselves, like the better way for us to do it. And maybe not the better way to do it, but the way that works with what we have. We're like very resourceful. We'll spend the time to take something apart and put it back together in our minds so that we can, do this thing that we want to do, and then kind of assimilate it into our lives if it is something that works. We like to streamline stuff and implement, okay? And so I think that these two things kind of coming together, this feeling of, I feel like there's this deep feeling within the kind of more unconscious part of yourself, the part of ourselves where we really seek to be super open-minded. We want to be flexible. We want to be objective. We want to slow ourselves down before we make any kind of judgment about something, want to give people the benefit of the doubt. But there's this part of us as Virgos where it's like the moment something strikes us as like, okay, I've experienced something like this, or my intuition, you immediately just, yep, I already know what this is going to be. A lot of the times we're right. Okay, let's face it. But I think that this can cause us a lot of turmoil because we shut ourselves off from so many opportunities because we think we already know. And maybe we're right to some degree, but we don't know how things are going to play out. There are plenty of things in life that I have thought, I don't like that. I already know I'm not going to like that. I have done something like that. I don't know. That's not really my thing. I don't want to try it. But then when I do, when I try to be flexible, open-minded, open to a little bit of change in my life, I find out, hey, this was really fun. This is cool. This is something that I want to do more often, I'll even say doing these videos, these readings, I was kind of resistant, but my husband was doing them and he really was doing well. We both are really into divination and, magic and our own two paths in the esoteric, which have been very different and personal for each of us, but we have a lot of overlapping interests. And so when he presented this idea to me, I was like, I don't know, man, who's going to want to listen to me? But I gave it a try and I've really, really started loving it. I've made some cool connections with people. It's really become so important to me because I'm doing it every day. It's part of my life now. And this is where this kind of fortune thing kind of comes in too. This is when we try to allow ourselves to be a little more open to things, right? Try different things. If we fail, we fail. Another thing Virgos don't really like, we don't like being wrong. We don't like failing too much. A little bit, but not like right on our face, right? But when we do allow ourselves to venture down these different corridors, we might find a way to make some money, meet some new people, hone our abilities, our interests, find things. One thing that's been really neat about this for me is that I've been reading more, just kind of studying different stuff just to continue to widen my experience and understanding of symbolism, mythology, especially the tarot. I was familiar, but I haven't memorized a lot of it or anything. So I do some reading and, excuse me, being a busy mom, busy wife, and just having a lot of other interests and things going on, I never really allowed myself the time, at least in the last few years, to be able to do these kinds of researches and stuff. And I really missed it, and it's given me an opportunity to do so. So this has been a blessing for me. And I think that this is really kind of the story of Virgos in general right now, is that we, you know, we got to open ourselves up to trying things that just seem like that's maybe not, you know, that's not my thing. I feel like you might have some kind of opportunity either that's already been presented to you. Maybe it's a little tickle in the back of your mind. You've been thinking, hey, you know, maybe I should try this thing, or maybe I should get this little, like, you know, side hustle going, or this little business, like making some candles, or I'm trying to think of things. It just... I want to make candles so bad. I have a whole list of things. I want a root cellar. I want to make candles. You know, I don't, all kinds of stuff. I want to be sewing. That's my big thing. I want to start sewing a lot of our clothes. And so I think there's a really good opportunity right now. The stars, the universe, the tea leaves are aligned in such a way that they're telling you, try some things, okay? Don't be afraid to have a couple missteps. Allot some of your time, your energy, your heart to doing something new, doing something that you have been doing, but in a different way, or taking some of your skills and figuring out how you can make some money with them. It doesn't have to be your main thing, or your, you know, whatever, but there's nothing wrong with learning how to monetize what you love to do, or what you know how to do. Okay. And this is getting dry. This house is getting hot. I got to figure out a situation for the summer, because it just, the tea leaves start to go really fast. Okay, so we have a horse that's kind of, it looks like it's running a bit. Maybe like kind of, what is the word? Trolloping, right? Is that the right word? Trolloping? That's something else as well, but I feel like this is very much has to do with the idea that you have to be in action to get things, to get fortune to come into your life, okay? So we can't wait for a miracle to happen all the time. You can't just, you know, sit around and think, hey, I really hope this like good thing comes to me. That's wonderful, and we should be praying and meditating on bringing in good energies, positive energies, energies of abundance, no doubt, okay, for ourselves, for others. But we also have to do some of the groundwork. We have to get things set up so we can have like an infrastructure, a framework ready to make that money, or do those creative things. For me, I could sew with my hands, I guess, but how am I gonna sew a bunch of clothes if I don't have a sewing machine, or at least a needle and thread, right? I'm sure there are some ways, but I need some tools, is my point. I can't just be wishing for, I want to be a great sewer. And I never sew. You have to do the groundwork, right? And so this is a good opportunity to line up some of the things within your means, right? Line up some of the things that you want to do, and get the materials. Set out some time in your busy schedule, okay? And if you don't know how to do something, you need some help, find the person that can help you. A good resource, I know I bring it up a lot, or well, at least here and there. A good resource for finding help, or any kind of advice, Reddit, do it. It's so much more anonymous than other places, but like really there are so many people that are so helpful on there. whatever it is that you need help with. I'm sure you can find a forum and somebody that will, you know, at least begin to help explain where you need to find your information. Oh, it's hot. It's hot in here. I've got my, it's lemon and honey water. Oh, and it's really nice right now. Okay, let's see. And I see down here we have, it looks like a person wearing some kind of animal fur head. I feel, and then we have, it looks like some kind of small animal, kind of gazing up, maybe like a coyote head or a, you know, coyote, and very much, very, well, you know, it's interesting because, let me see. And then over here, I want to look over here too. We have this person that looks like they're kind of in the stance of, almost like they're descending, right? They're falling, or dancing, falling, just like, and I feel that this is very much, a scene of initiation, of kind of going into that borderland, the other world. I think that this, with all of this opportunity, with this passion that you have, with this trying to figure out just exactly how to orient your next move, I think it's really important for you to go ahead and ask your either guardian angel, elders, ancestors, spirit guides, daemon, whatever, you know, elementals, macrobes, your, you know, alien, whatever it is, whatever you get, disembodied voice in the corner of the room, whatever you get guidance from. I think it's important to do some meditation, visualizations, maybe some dream work. But really the praying, asking for guidance. Something that also comes to mind is the gratitude. And this, I'm going to say, this is on my mind a lot today in the last few days. I just got my 7 years in recovery. So that's been a big thing for me. And if you know anything about recovery or 12-step or any kind of, you know, addiction, kind of self-work, it's all about, a lot of it is all about gratitude and finding a way to readjust, kind of recalibrate your perception, your way of thinking, your worldview to be more and more grateful every day. Even when there are troubles, we look for the blessings in troubles. We look for the lessons in troubles, right? And when things do go well, we're grateful for those too. But I really am, and I say this, and I don't say it in a pessimistic way at all. I go through life with very low expectations of most other people. I have high expectations for myself, especially how I treat other people, the things that I get done in my day. They might not seem like a lot to other people, but I want to get all of my, you know, goals done for the day and that kind of thing. But I have low expectations of just life, of the world, what the universe is going to give me, what I feel like, you know, I should expect, what I want, especially. What I want should be very low, but what I need as well, trying to lower the bar of what I think I need. And just by doing that, everything that happens or comes to pass seems like a gift. Okay. And, you know, you can argue with me all day long about it, but it has made my life a lot better, in that, you know, I'm constantly thankful and in awe of what is achieved day in and day out. in every, you know, every little advancement, every, you know, kind word, every beautiful bird song that I hear, every time I see the weather do something beautiful, or, you know, just kind of like amazing, a blizzard, or, you know, the flowers start to bloom, or whatever it is, I am eternally grateful. I am. And so it's so important and so simple for us to try to continually, every single day, think about the things that we are grateful for. Okay, try to let go, you know, be grateful for like 5 new things. And try to let go of at least one thing that really pissed you off that day, or really felt like, oh, that was unfair to me, or that thing really went wrong. You know what I mean? For me, it's like I have a toddler, and I'm so grateful that she has her own mind, and she's so headstrong, and she makes up, you know, the way her vision of how she wants things to go. But then she doesn't listen to mom all the time, right? And that can be difficult. So she might say just a minute, or no, or you know, run off while I'm talking to her like 5 times in a row. But that one time she does help me pick up her toys, or she will, you know, kind of be a toddler, and then she'll come over and she'll say, I love you, Mom. You know, and I'm grateful. And then I'm grateful. I mean, I'm always grateful, but then I'm really grateful. I see the majesty in those moments. And then I look at her and I think, you know, I'm raising somebody who is going to stick up for themselves. I'm raising somebody who is going to, you know, have a voice, who's going to be like, you know, able to save self, able to take care of herself, and also have some manners. Okay. I'm a little old school, but, you know, but I'm grateful. The point is, I'm grateful. We can take a few L's. We get 1 or 2 little wins, and that's what makes the day. Right. And then those days of those wins, and then that makes the week and the month, and then it's like, man, there's very few years that I can look back on, at least in the last, you know, almost 8, 9 years, that I can look back on and say that was just the worst, terriblest year ever. And there's been a lot of hardship. The world has been a mess. Life has been difficult. Believe me, it's been difficult. It's been difficult for you, for me, for all of us. But, you know, because I've tried to maintain that openness, that gratitude, that prayer, you know, really, really engaging with the sense of something higher than myself, or many things higher than myself, the wonder, the awe, and the subtle, that beauty, that love, that you know, that abundance. You know, we lose perspective, man. And, you know, it's all about trying to reorient ourselves back to that, to a place where, you know, as a child would, just really, oh man, this is, you know, this little thing that may seem stupid to anybody else, like, is the coolest thing in the world for me. If we can get a little bit of that back in our lives, we're lucky. We're so lucky. And it takes work, but you do it. And when you do it, then it starts to really manifest a lot of good things in your life. And I'll just say, this is the most obvious answer. Work on those gratitude lists, okay? Really do it. get a little piece of, you know, a notebook or whatever. Every single day, write down the things that you're grateful for. And it will start to add up, and it will start to change how you experience your life. It will, little by little. I promise you. Okay, so let's look at this real quick. All right. We have two. We have two pieces, not a lot. I'm trying to think. Really, you know what comes to mind, and this is hard to like figure out how this is with the two, but it really does come to mind. I really feel like part of the energy that's going on right now with you, with us, Virgo, is also this just merciless energy of cutting off that which does not serve you. If it's not actively moving for you, with you, alongside you, if it is moving against you, cut it off. Period. Just get it out of your life. Do some spring cleaning, fall cleaning, wherever you are in the world. Get your life cleaned out of all of that extra junk, that dead weight. Just get rid of it. And everything else will fall into place, really. I mean, you know, you got to do these other things. You got to do some of the other things, for sure. But getting rid of some of that just, you know, that stuff that is not benefiting you, okay? For me, it's just, you know, the negative self-talk. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. But really, when I'm catching myself starting to just, you know, get down on myself about things. I didn't get this, you know, I didn't get the bathroom cleaned, the upstairs bathroom cleaned today, or whatever, you know, I wasn't able to finish this thing, or, you know, I've like obsessed over, oh, I should have, I didn't return this phone call, or the way that I said this and it was rude, or felt rude, or, you know, just these little things, and it starts to weigh down on you. But like, look at the things you got done. You did get done. Look at the things that you know, can do better next time. And also just, you know, if you do something that you feel like is not kind, you always have the opportunity to try to right it. So just, we got to be a little more kinder to ourselves. That's my little cut off all that stinky, or what do they call it, stinking thinking. All right. I thank you so much for this time that you spent with me. I'm always so honored to bring these messages to you. You know, I love and adore you, my fellow Virgos, and I try not to pick favorites, but of course, you know, what can we do? Yeah, so if you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps me get into the algorithm, and we're growing the channel one person at a time, and we're doing so well. I thank each and every one of you. If you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing so. You can hit the little bell button thing, and it will notify you when the next videos are coming out. We're on a schedule where every sign is being read once a week. Between now and the next Virgo, you can watch your other placements, your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising. I know people watch their Venus as well. And there are a lot of cross watchers, which I found out means that you're watching the placements of loved ones, your children, your partners, people that you care about. And also, if you want to leave a comment, please go ahead and do so. I would love to hear from you. You all are so sweet. It keeps me going. I love, you know, I'm a sucker for the positive feedback and just the kindness. I like dwell in it whenever it comes around. But yeah, I really do appreciate all of it and all of you. You are my peoples. All right. I thank you, and we will talk again very soon.